that's like this whole virtuous cycle that we're really going for. If you eat healthy food that comes from healthy soils and it gives you the nutrition you need to have a healthy body, and you stop going to the hospital, and then workers don't have to take as much time off for health reasons because they're healthier. And it's really a healthy well-being economy that we want to move toward, instead of this degraded one where they use pesticides on our food and then we ingest the pesticides and it gives us cancer and makes us sick. And it's the whole negative.
And I think it's interesting how there is a great book, I'm sure you've read it, Food Fix, where he does talk, when you just said, he talks about exactly that, where it's kind of like, if we fix our food, you fix pretty much everything in terms of climate, nutrition, health, the health system, refugee, just everything. It fixes so many things.
Everything. And we've got the land to do all of this. And when you ask, what can people do to help? The key is to really pay attention. Every time you open your wallet or you make a purchase with your phone, those of us in the old days had wallets. Now, every time you make a purchase with your phone, you really vote for the planet that you want. You're voting for the future of the planet. Every purchase you make and everything you buy, cuts across the whole system. You need to know where your food's coming from. If you're buying beef that has been sourced from the rainforest in Brazil, you're actively engaged in and supporting financially the destruction of the rainforest. And we need the rainforest to breathe and to regulate our weather and to be our biodiversity. And so you're supporting that if you inadvertently buy rainforest food. Yep. So if you know that your beef is from a regenerative rancher, that's really important. If you know that you're buying from an organic farm, that's really important to support them. The Farm Bill, the federal Farm Bill, is really upside down. It's supporting the wrong industries, and we're working to change that.
People feel sort of helpless. Oh my gosh, I don't really know what to do. And so I love your example of 7 people coming together and really making an impact. We just need 7 people in every major metropolitan area to start making changes. But I mean, can it be as simple as that, right? And that's because you need your personal choices, but you need the advocates out there that you represent. You're the epitome of this, Andy. You went out and said, here's what one person can do. And you just went and you made that happen. We've talked about that a lot, which I think you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration to me. And I will tell you, you're the reason why. Remember, when I first did my business, it was ornamental and it was succulents and it was beautiful. It was bringing gardening into people's lives, but I wanted to do something more impactful. And we talked about pivoting it to be about growing food. And it's been a life changer for me in terms of just the impact I feel like I'm making. And I know, because my customers will tell me, oh my God, and just, it's the health and it's also the climate. It's both messages. Sometimes I have to lead with the health and then I educate about that, because I find that's what people care about, right? They kind of care about their health and they kind of care about the climate because they feel like they should. And then I get them that way.
No, it's amazing. And I love that you pivoted this direction. Like, it's inspiring that you're doing that, and it goes back to, what can one person do? This is your part of the climate fight. And it's hugely important because it helps educate folks on their food and their food choices. And this is what's so important. If you're paying attention to how you spend your money, you can help change the whole world and you can help save the whole planet. But you've got to pay attention. You have to know where your food comes from. And if you're supporting zero food print, if you're supporting regenerative ranching, regenerative agriculture, that will help us get there and help us actually draw down climate emissions. So it's so important. And Christy, what you're doing is so important to educate people and grow their own food